Hey guys, welcome to JasonWhiskyWise, and myself, Jason, bringing you whiskey review number 85, where today we're going to be reviewing a special whiskey from Arran, which is the newly released Arran Master of Distilling, which is basically a 10-year-old expression to celebrate the 10th anniversary of their master distiller, James MacTaggart. So, I'm going to show you guys that up on screen here, just so you can see that. And you can see it says Arran, the actual name, and I believe it says it's a sample. So I got selected in a tweet tasting, and I said instead of just doing the tweet tasting, I want to bring you guys a review here on YouTube because it's a new product to the market. A lot of people love Arran. I love Arran's products, and so I want to share that with you through this experience, through this tasting. So I'm going to compile my tasting notes, but at the same time take you through it. So you'll be wondering, what is the Master Distillery? Now you'll see a picture of the bottle just over here. It's a new expression just been released as the current Master Distiller, well, who's been there since 2007, James MacTaggart, has been there for 10 years now. And the first casks he laid down pretty much were bourbon casks, first fill bourbon casks. And they decided to celebrate his 10th anniversary, he would use these bourbon casks and make a special 10-year-old, bottled at cask strength being 54.2%, retaining natural colour and also non-chill filtered, and also being a limited release. So it's called the Master of Distilling, and I'm probably going to call that in the title, or I might name it by something else. Now, with my review style structure, I'll begin obviously with the actual age of this whiskey. It is a 10-year-old expression, bottled at an ABV of 54.2%. The cask selection are primarily just first fill bourbon casks. The distillery is the Arran Distillery, which I really can't wait to go and visit. It's really, fingers crossed, on my list to do. First thing when I get to Glasgow is go to the Arran Distillery. Get the ferry across and go and visit them. Now, the parent company from them is the Isle of Arran Distillers Limited, and the region is from the islands of Scotland. Now, if you are going to visit Arran, I think it's a little short journey from Glasgow, so it's very, very quick. If they had an airport, I'd have flown there because I'm not a big fan of boats, but I'm going to do it because of the whiskey, and I'll take you guys along with me in a vlog because I'm really enjoying the vlog aspect of things. Now, in terms of the price for the full-size bottle of this, you're looking at $64.99, so around about £65 for the full bottle, which is something which I think is very reasonable because it is also moving on to my next topic, which is exclusivity. And is it exclusive? Yes, it is. It is limited to 12,000 bottles only. So after those bottles are done, that is the end of this bottle. So if you are looking to drink one, or maybe keep one along down the line, buy two, keep one, and keep the other one for yourself to drink. Or if you buy one, if you've tried it before, then you know whether you want to keep it to open it, or maybe you want to just, have a really good drink because it's a really interesting dram, which we'll get to in the tasting notes. Now, is it caramel coloured? Look how light this is. This is all natural colour, and it is non-chill filtered. So we're going to start off by assessing the colour of this whiskey, and it's got a very nice light gold. I'm going to go with a bright gold in this one because it is almost glowing with my lights looking down upon them. So bright gold. We're going to get straight away when I jump into the nose of this whiskey. I love it. So begin by assessing the nose. So to begin on the nose of this whiskey, I'm picking out a lot of those citrus characters coming through, and this is very refreshing. It's almost lemon, sort of lemon peel, but you're getting the burst as if you're like pulling off the peel of the lemon, and that burst of citrus spray just coming off it and sort of giving you that refreshing character. I'm also picking up notes of pineapple juice, a little bit of guava, which is very interesting, a kind of a tropical note coming off. Even that classic vanilla coming through, but it's accompanied by a little bit of a coastal breeze, so a little salty note is really coming through on this one. A soft dash of spice, and I'd say this is like a peppery spice, but a white pepper. It's not super intense, quite gentle, and quite a nice sort of creamy, really sweeter, creamy note. And this reminds me of, if you guys have had what's the milk, or the milk that comes from powder. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's like you're having that. It's very, very creamy, but then at the same time, actually it's almost like if you're making a custard. Actually, let me rephrase that. It's like as if you're making a custard from powder. it's like that sort of, when you're adding, just mixing it all together with the milk and the custard and just custard powder, it's just creamy, but there's sort of powdery note as well to it on the nose. But still with a vanilla note being quite dominant and bold throughout all the sort of layers on the nose. So next we'll move into the palate for this whiskey. So into the palate. Ooh. So to begin on the palate for this whiskey, it's really, really interesting. The texture starts out quite light medium. It develops ever so slightly into, I'd say, a medium full. And then it pulls back down to a medium as its viscosity reduces ever so slightly. You do get introduced with a peppery spice, white pepper, a little crackle of that. But following that, the citrus notes come back. They reintroduce themselves onto the palate. You're getting that lemon, almost like lemon curd, with the meringue, giving that added sweetness. So lemon curd poured over the top of a meringue. It's almost like a little bit of a cakey feeling. What is it? A vanilla Victoria sponge without the jam filling, with a bit of cream inside. And then you're getting the waxy citrus peel coming back, and this is like limes now. Lime peel. Giving that little burst of citrus, a little zing along the... I'm finding more on the left side of the back of the palate, tickling the side of the palate, and a little bit more of a citrusy, sort of a, I'd say like a pineapple cubes, like the ones you get out of a tin almost. Giving that little bit of sweetness, that syrup, but at the same time that pineapple character. Really nice stuff. So next move into the finish, and we'll come to my conclusion on this whiskey. So into the finish of this whiskey, you start out quite succulent, quite juicy. You're getting a bit of spicy aspect, and as it's fading away, it's more, I'd say, wood spices. Sort of like they've chosen the perfect time to bottle this whiskey. You are getting a little bit of a citrusy note, and this is, I'd say, more associated with lemon, quite a sharp, sort of zingy, sweet but bitter lemon. Maybe grapefruit. I'm going to say grapefruit sherbet. A nice balance between bitter and sweet. Maybe a little bit pushing bitter a little bit more. That saltiness that sort of comes off like a coastal breeze, combining with the citrus character, adding that little tangy note, just works really well, giving, I'd say, a medium long, probably I'd say a long finish in this one. It does hold itself quite solid and quite powerfully right in between the back palate and the middle of the palate. And it's still settling there. Not really moving, not budging. So, overall, I'm going to have to give my rating for this whiskey, and I'm going to go with this. I'm going to give this one here an 87 out of 100. Reason behind that, this whiskey offers so much of the sort of tropical notes in terms of the guava, the pineapples, the vanilla notes coming through from the bourbon cask, but the combination of sweetness and creaminess. I find those notes are sort of like a milky custard, which I personally really love as the texture sort of develops from that light medium into a nice viscous character. In terms of value for money, at £65 for a limited edition from Arran to celebrate their master distiller, I think it's spot on. It's not putting £100, because I have seen some bottles nowadays from other companies putting £100 to celebrate certain expressions. So right on with the actual price range, I think it's in the perfect, I'd say, reasonable price range. In terms of adding water to this whiskey, would I add water? You can do. It does reduce that sort of so much citrus and spice, so it makes it much more sweeter, so much more creamier. So adding water would be, notifications going off, adding water, I wouldn't complain. I'd say if you want to add a few drops of water, by all means go ahead and do so, but do try it neat. In adding time, I'm going to throw my phone. In adding time, you can give it some time. Let it open out, let it oxidize, let it breathe, because it is first fill bourbon. It does need that time to literally just oxidize and take in a bit of the atmosphere. And then it will start to reveal its wonders, and it gets better with time. It gets a little bit sweeter, but at the same time not overly sweet, and it becomes also creamier. So something that I think that you guys should enjoy. If you like a bourbon cask maturation, this should be something you should really enjoy, especially because it's a limited edition as well. And at 12,000 bottles, I know it's not super limited at like 1,000 bottles, but I think 12,000 is also, it's to make sure that everyone gets to celebrate the Master Distiller's 10th anniversary at the distillery. So I raise a glass to you, and May you be there for many years more, for choosing an absolute fantastic and superb expression to celebrate your 10th anniversary. Arran, I look forward to seeing you guys very soon because I will be visiting there hopefully in 2 or 3 weeks' time. If you guys have enjoyed this video, by all means feel free to drop it a like. A thumbs up is always appreciative. Check out my other videos here, and here, which I will be down there. I'll be covering a lot more. I'll even be covering the Smugglers series, which are very hard to get hold of, but I got them. So we'll have those on the channel very soon. But on that note, I'm going to let you guys go and check out some of my other videos. Also, be sure to hit my subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, as I think we're closing in on 400 subscribers. So fingers crossed, thumbs up. And this has been JasonWhiskyWise again. Raise a glass to the Arran Distillery. Congratulations on the 10th anniversary of your Master Distiller, and may you be there for many years more. This has been JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video.